Alright everybody, welcome as we are getting things kicked off here for our Starcraft matchups today in Starcraft Division 2, the Nebraska Schools Esport Association's state tournament that we have going on today. So we got a good matchup coming here for you. This will be the second and third best in the state, as we will have both Sircluck and Yogg going up against each other here on Berlingrad. So we'll give you a little bit of information about our players here today. We've got Sircluck. Currently he is 8-0 from Grand Island Northwest, a senior there. Aiden Better, sorry, it's not mispronunciation there, but currently 8-0 is his record, so having a pretty good year. Last season he got third at state in the 2020 state champion playoff. Then we've got from Omaha Skutt Catholic, we've got Yogg, Ryan Bolson, a sophomore from Skutt. This is his first appearance here in state. So once again, we have from Grand Island Northwest here in the upper left-hand corner, we have Cluck Daddy, and then down in the lower right-hand side, we have Yogg. Both of these players will be playing Protoss today, so we'll have a PvP matchup. I believe all of our players today are Protoss mains, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Protoss throughout today. So, getting things started off, we're going to have both sides throwing up their initial gateways and getting some assimilators also plopped down. A little early assimilator there for Cluck Daddy will be the only real difference here. Yogg down the bot side, making sure he's not going to be supply capped for a while. Saturation on the mains, at least for Yogg, as Cluck Daddy has decided to go for, of course, some gas, so he's going to be working on that rather early, possibly looking for some upgrades here in the early game. See exactly what he decides to do with that. More gateways going down. We'll have an early forge as well. Showing up, assimilator on the side of Cluck Daddy to get things kicked off. So a little bit about this, both players are going to have to build up their bases, and then I believe past the 3-minute mark they are allowed to attack each other. There's just a gentleman's clause for the first 3 minutes of the match. So we'll see how they take this initial 3 free minutes that they have. We'll see that down here, Yogg's, of course, going to be throwing up his cybernetics core now. He's got gas up, but he's not going to throw anybody on it quite yet. Expansion to the natural will be happening for Cluck Daddy here, as he'll be throwing that down. Stargate coming through. I kind of expected this because he did go for gas early, so we wondered either what he was going to go for, and going for them Void Rays, baby. I'm very excited to see those, actually, because we didn't see them yesterday in those Starcraft matches. We're going to see some today. That actually makes me kind of happy. Down on the bottom side, we're going to see those photon cannons going down. We got quite a few different, quite a few units built up here. The army size for Yogg is going to be really getting up there, because right now he's strictly kind of just building up those zealots and sitting down here on the bot side pretty happy. Meanwhile, Cluck Daddy is going to get his first Void Ray coming out. Let's see if he uses that to scout or exactly what he goes for, as he will be building a second and queuing a third on this side. Expansion is going to be up for Cluck Daddy, as we've surpassed 3.5 minutes here. And apologize, I think it's actually a 5-minute gentleman's clause. I cannot remember for sure on that rule. I'll have to double check here when I'm done. Here comes the first set of upgrades from the Forge, as well as the Nexus now getting set up on the side of Yogg. And That'll be his first expansion, and we'll take just a quick glance down here at our mineral count. You can see that the minerals for Cluck Daddy are really coming in. He's going to be about roughly 400 per second ahead here on the mineral count than what Yogg is, simply because he's gotten the second expansion up. He's now throwing the gas down on it. And now that we've surpassed things, Void Rays. Here they are, everybody. This is why we love them. Coming in on the backside, it is a 3-minute gentleman's clause. And he's going to be back here really working on the mineral line. Also, looking at that cybernetic score, I don't know if that was a misclick. Yeah, he meant to actually click on this pylon, as he's going to be hitting the economy really hard of Yogg. Meanwhile, Yogg himself has sent in an attack, but once again, these Void Rays are going to be able to take out these Zealots somewhat easily right now. Void Rays also up here on the top side. He is going to just decimate the absolute economy out of Yogg here. And Yogg is not going to have any luck. This Void Ray is still working on these Zealots. The Zealots are getting work done. They've taken out this expansion down here. He's got another Void Ray that he could be using to assist with this battle. And they are really working hard right now. Void Rays on the bottom side. The two Void Rays here now going to try and take out these Zealots. These Zealots have been left to their own demise. Now he's working on pushing out a Void Ray, but before he can do so, it's going to be taking out at least one pylon. Will he get the other pylons out? This one also is empowering that. Let's see if that happens. As another Void Ray is out, and more of them are on the way. He will finally get a Void Ray out of this. He doesn't see, I don't think, what's going on over here. Also, air upgrades. He's going to be able to pump out more Void Rays than what Yogg is going to be able to do, and just decimated that Void Ray that came out. And now they will be working on the base. He is sending over 2 more Void Rays here, and a third is flying through the sky on its way to take out these Zealots. Watch out for that Photon turret. It's no match for these Void Rays coming in on the top side. He's now going to send a couple back into the main base to clean up the economy, but this should be game at this point, because Yogg was unable to defend against the initial assault. And we'll have the 3 Void Rays working on it here, but we're looking at any second now for the GG. But yeah, the initial, front running here of these Void Rays, that's immediately what he went for with his base, going for this early gas and then having the first expansion, but just going straight into Void Rays as Sircluck, or Cluck Daddy from Grand Island Northwest, will take victory here in Game 1. So we'll take just a quick look at our performance scores here and just kind of see that Yogg, he was a supply cap for a little bit, just with his workers, but, I mean, really, we're looking at the fact that just early on, this Stargate down at 2 minutes, followed by a first Void Ray 39 seconds later, followed by the next one, is just really what gave Sircluck the advantage. So we'll go to Game 2 here in just a second, between Sircluck and Yogg. right, we are going to get things started off. Game 2 between Sircluck and Yog. Grand Island Northwest versus Omaha Skutt Catholic. So once again, we'll talk just briefly about both players here as we get loaded in and allow them to get their initial builds off the ground. We'll have in the upper left once again Cluck Daddy or Sircluck from Grand Island Northwest. Aiden Metter, a senior, and last year, or the 2020 competition year, he was able to get himself 3rd place at state. So he has been here before, and now he is fighting and 1 game away from bettering where he was last year and getting himself up into 2nd or even 1st place. Now, in the lower right-hand corner, we have from Omaha Skutt Catholic, we have Yog, or Ryan Busum, a sophomore from Skutt, and this is his first appearance at state. So good luck to both of these players as we get things kicked off. In the last game, we saw a very quick, and I think we're going to see the exact same build here from Cluck Daddy as he immediately goes for some early gas, not quite saturating his line here. Goes for the gateway pylon star immediately for his first fleet, as he called in a couple void rays right off the bat. So once again, he also went for this expansion really early. So we'll have to see exactly what comes in on the opposing side. Definitely with this forge going down, I am going to assume that Yog is going to look to put up some protective cannons around his initial base, but on top of that, really would like to see him build some stalkers, to have something to take out those void rays, and at least protect his base a little bit better. He did go for a really big zealot buildup in this in the first game. So now I'm wondering if he's going to continue down that path, or if he's going to make a different choice this time around. We're going to see the expansion coming through here from Cluck Daddy as he's throwing down his 2nd Nexus and throwing down the Twilight Council as well. Possibly a little bit of a change from his previous setup as he's going Zealots currently. Cybernetics Core is working on gateways, so we'll have warp gates, but a little bit of a different build actually out of Cluck Daddy this time. So we'll see what happens here. His last match was really well played out. Expansion coming now through from Yog. I believe it's a little bit earlier than what he did previously, so he's working on trying to go a little faster, that expansion, work on that. Here we are. Stalker's going to come through. That's a pretty easy call when you're going up against somebody who just flew in some void rays previously. Forge going down, not a Stargate in sight, so we are going to be in a situation where it's going to be a land battle this time, at least as far as Cluck Daddy's concerned on the Grand Island Northwest side. Going for some initial upgrades to his zealots. He's going to go ahead and pick up at least 1 attack and the of course I can't remember what the upgrade is called, but he's going for some upgrades to his zealots that he's going to be pushing forward now. And we're going to have on the opposing side still going these stalkers. Now what would be good is, past the 3-minute mark here, if Yog, was able to send even 1 unit up to try and figure out what's going on. He's actually going to start working now. He's got the Stargate up, and he's going to start warping in the Void Ray there. We'll see what happens on the opposing side, because more gateways are in store, it appears, on the side of Cluck Daddy. He might run into the same issue that he just pulled on the previous side. Charge is coming through for these zealots, but he might end up with an issue if this Void Ray comes through and he doesn't have any anti-aerial units at the moment. So honestly, he'll probably pick up a couple stalkers here and there for sure, but maybe he'll at least have enough warp gates up that he can warp in some zealots or some stalkers if he's finding that he has problems. So we'll actually see a pretty decent pickup here as here come the zealot army. They're going to run in here real quick and find out that they might initially hurt these stalkers, but it's going to be a tough situation with this Void Ray up above. They do get the surround on a couple units, so the initial win does go to these zealots because the stalkers can't attack very quickly. But this Void Ray up top is simply going to just try and poke down. A second Void Ray is going to come out here, which is going to be an issue. Void Ray is going to ignore the fact that the army is going in, and he does a good job, Cluck Daddy does at least, of getting back here and trying to disrupt this mineral line. Totally wasted mineral line now on the side there. He does win the initial fights. He's got to try to micro these units a little bit better if he can. He's sending in more on top of that, and that just seems to be his commit. Full commit onto that. Looks like he might be supply blocked on this end. Let's see exactly how this main fight is going to go down. Taking out yet another pylon here. He's going to try and find all the pylons that he can. I don't know. He's going to have another 4 running in. This might just be his play. His play just might be, we're going to overrun with these zealots, and they're not going to be able to do anything. They do take out the supplies, so they're not going to have any opportunity of building more. No more Void Rays are also going to show up. That Stalker just goes down, so the Void Rays here from Yogg are not going to be able to do anything because, yeah, sure, they're going to take out these zealots, but Cluck Daddy's just going to keep sending them in, you know, in groups of 4, groups of 5. Looks like he's going to have a pretty big group actually here of about 8 coming in on this next one, as he does find himself no longer supply capped due to the losses he took on the front line. But we're going to see exactly how this goes down because right now, you know, getting anything back up, no production is going to be up on the side of Yogg. By the time he does get production up, I mean, we've got 8 more zealots ready to go, as Cluck Daddy is just amassing a couple more units. He does have stalkers here now. More upgrades coming through for his zealots, which simply at this point can just run in here almost uncontested. He's going to immediately focus onto the Stargate, which does have, of course, these is pumping out these Void Rays that he's at least the most scared of at the moment. Now he's going to probably run back in, find out that, yep, they did rebuild this, and he can't get all his units onto that, so he is going to pull them off. That's pretty smart. I like to see that kind of micro happening here, except for the fact that this zealot is a little bit too zealous about trying to take out this the cybernetics core. Meanwhile, in the back line, though, we are going to see that there is going to be no more economy. That's 17 probes dead in total now. And as far as economy goes, a little over 2k minerals on the side of Yogg. He is not keeping up near the same speed as Cluck Daddy, and he's going to just have a huge buildup of minerals. Stalkers will move in now, and these Void Rays, who have been having a lot of fun, are now not going to be, feeling the heat just a little bit. 15 kills on this single Void Ray here. But Void Rays are here. Void Rays are going to be gone as Cluck Daddy now moves in these Stalkers for the final push. You see this one lone zealot trying his darndest to get out there, but it is just not going to be possible, as Cluck Daddy should win this second match and move on for a chance at the state championship. And there it is. Cluck Daddy, aka Sircluck, from Grand Island Northwest, will move on. And we will be seeing Yogg competing for 3rd place here at state. Like I said, you can see the average unspent resources in not in Yogg's favor at all. And really, no time supply capped. I kind of thought Sircluck was supply capped there for a little bit, but apparently he was not. So overall, unit structures, everything for Sircluck, and we will be right back after we wait for the next match to finish, as Sircluck will be moving on.